Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us here on the FIBA 2024 Paris Olympics chat party. South Sudan against Puerto Rico coming up right about now. A bit of a technical glitch happening right now in Paris. It looks like they have played the wrong national anthem for South Sudan, and they're still trying to get all the ceremonial protocols out of the way. Thank you very much for joining us here. For those wondering where you can watch the game, you can't watch the game here live as the FIBA YouTube channel does not hold the rights to the actual Paris Olympic Games, but we are providing you guys a second screen uh, a second screen experience here that hopefully could be a bit unique to you guys. Maybe you might enjoy it. So what you do is that for those looking for a stream or a way to watch the games, go check out the description below to try and find out where you can watch the games locally wherever you are around the world. So we do have a link for that, and yeah, catch this one because it's a historic game, especially for South Sudan. They've captured the hearts of a lot of players, a lot of people in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Finished the top as a top nation from Africa in the FIBA Basketball World Cup here in the Philippines, and they managed to find a way, by hook or by crook, to make it to the Olympics as the youngest nation in the world, only 13 years old. South Sudan coming into this one as really a team to watch in this men's basketball tournament. Of course, Puerto Rico making a return here as well. Can never forget about them. They qualified for the Olympics through an Olympic qualifying tournament, so that should be really fun to watch. Make sure you do comment right over there. Right, you chat your live chat wherever live chat is on your screens. Go join us there. Join in the conversation. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think Puerto Rico can take one over South Sudan and make it a bit of a rude welcome, or can South Sudan have a dream start here in their Olympic journey, especially in men's basketball? We're gonna find out a lot here today, especially about Puerto Rico, who are making a return to the Olympics, the high point of their Olympic journey. Arguably, was a time when they beat the United States a few Olympics back. So let's see if they can scale those heights once again. Of course, Grand Theft Alvarado, the guy we're going to be watching out for in Puerto Rico, as we are about to get started here. And of course, so many other names to watch out for here. South Sudan, Garlic Jones is going to be very important. One of the guys that you're gonna have to really watch out for was really a monster here in the Philippines. By the way, I am from the Philippines. That's the reason why I got to actually see South Sudan in person back here in Manila, and they are really a fun team to watch. Very athletic, they run the floor very well. Let's see if that can translate here against a South American opposition in Puerto Rico. Another guy to watch out for here, of course, Wenyan Gabriel. He has an NBA pedigree, as well as JT Thor with the Hornets as of late. So we'll find out what they can do here. Now, a lot of people, of course, still ask where you can watch live. Rezo here in the chat says, where can you watch live? Again, check out the description in this video below. You can find out where you can watch locally the Olympic Games wherever you are around the world. Again, we cannot show the game here live on this stream in particular, but of course, we're going to provide you a different type of audio, a different type of soundtrack. If you prefer my voice, whoever's talking in the Olympic Games, or if you just want to be here and cause some ruckus on the chat on the side. Now, if you notice at the bottom of this, there's a super chat challenge here, South Sudan and Puerto Rico. Now, the way that it works in Super Chat Challenge, if you go in and you donate, every dollar goes for a point into the team of your choice. So you can get a Super Chat for South Sudan or Puerto Rico. Let's see what happens there. Of course, there are other ways you can watch this game through the FIBA channels. Of course, there's Discord as well, and a Twitch that you should look up for. And it should be interesting to see what everyone has to say about that. But thank you again to all the hoop nuts out there who want a more interactive experience to this Paris 2024 men's basketball tournament. Starting lineup for Puerto Rico: Pinheiro, Condit, Alvarado, Romero, and Tremont Waters. Could be, again, on paper, a lot of people are going to say Puerto Rico with the experience should take it, but then what we've seen from South Sudan, wherein a lot of the players, by the way, were refugees from the Sudan Civil War, are coming into this one with a chip on their shoulder. Their starters are Carlick Jones, Zuni Omot, Bolkwol, Wen Gabriel, and Mariel Shayok. Let's see what they can do here. Of course, we want to hear what everyone has to say. Obviously, I'm going to hope that I can understand all the languages being spoken on the live chat, and let's see if I can, you know, really start out the conversation here. I'm not quite sure what they speak in South Sudan, but I don't really speak it. But I also don't speak Spanish for those Puerto Rican fans out there. So let's see. I'm gonna whip out the Google Translate later on and see what we can do there. All right, so the warm-up period is finally done after a bit of a delay. Again, in what should have been a memorable moment for South Sudan, there was a bit of an error in the playing of the national anthem or in the protocol right before the tip-off. So there was a bit of delay there. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to start here. And what is set to be a historic one between Puerto Rico and South Sudan. Yeah, for those wondering, yes, the background of the South Sudan players is really interesting. You should go check that out and try and try and really pay tribute to what they've done to stay in the sport. It really is an inspiring story. But of course, on the other end, Puerto Rico coming into this one, qualifying in their own hometown and their own home crowd. It was a great atmosphere in Puerto Rico as they made it to the Olympic qualifying tournament. It's going to be emotional for them as well as they try to reestablish themselves in the realm of international basketball. And we are about to start here, South Sudan against Puerto Rico. Thank you very much for joining us. In fact, we have red started according to the tracker. So even my live stream is a bit delayed by a few seconds. Let's see how delayed it is. But then, of course, we'll be relying on the FIBA.basketball live stats as well for all of the necessary numbers. Of course, it's Jose Alvarado who gets the first points on the board here. First of two free throws made. And of course, Grand Theft Alvarado, he has been one of the more interesting characters, more fun characters in the NBA as of late, especially with his antics, able to be a pest the whole length of the floor. And of course, it's going to be a tough one here for South Sudan, no matter what. Because, again, the Olympic Games, a whole new level for them here. And you can only imagine the pressure that they have as well. Wen Gabriel here with a turnover travel here for South Sudan. So, a bit of a slow start here in the first few possessions for South Sudan, getting their feet wet, getting their heads in the game for sure. Again, Puerto Rico, no stranger to the Olympics. They've had history in here. Now, for those who in the chat right now still looking for where the games are at, again, I have to remind you that we do not carry the games here on this YouTube channel, but this is more of a second screen experience that you can have on the side as you're watching the game by your local provider wherever you are around the world. As Tremor Waters makes it a 5-0 run here for Puerto Rico to start out against South Sudan. It's going to be a long day here for South Sudan if they can't get their offense going or, maybe finally get their feet wet here. And rather, it's an 8-0 run here for Puerto Rico as back-to-back triples from Tremont Waters. Cues the timeout here for South Sudan. They are down 8-0, and it's going to be a really tough one here for South Sudan if they can't find a way to really get their head in the game that they're here in the Olympics finally. Obviously, a bit of nerves for sure, you gotta say. I think some of the people here are saying that there's a bit of nerves on the chat, but then we're gonna see what happens here. As of course, right now, South Sudan just really can't get any flow going here. Now, for those wondering, South Sudan, again, the youngest basketball nation. We're only 13 years old officially, talking about South Sudan, and are going into this one as one of the good stories, one of these stories to watch out for here in this Olympic Games. A lot of people, again, they won a lot of hearts here in Manila, in the Philippines, when they were here for FIBA Basketball World Cup. And we're going to expect somewhat of a similar, I guess, impact to the crowd. Well, they already won a few fans over here when they had a mistake, when they made a mistake in the national anthem just a while ago. South Sudan were left waiting to hear their national anthem, and when they finally heard it, I can only imagine how that would have felt. Could have been a very emotional moment for all of them. As Puerto Rico getting off to a dream start, the start that they wanted exactly. 8-0 sprint here to get going in this Olympic Games. It's the first game here of Puerto Rico. And we're going to bring out some of the numbers here, the stats as well, to try and keep everyone abreast of what's happening. But right now, a personal foul here coming from Jose Pinheiro. So we're still waiting for the first scorer of South Sudan here. And looks like Wenyan Gabriel has a chance to do that. Gets 2 free throws awarded to him. As Wenyan Gabriel gets fouled from George Condit IV. And Wenyan Gabriel, one of the more familiar names in amongst hoop heads. The free throws will actually be taken by Nuni Omot, who now has the first point for South Sudan here in the Olympics. Again, Wenyan Gabriel, I mentioned a while ago. Talk about him later on because we have to pay credit to Nuni Omot, who is able to get the first points on the board in the Olympics here in Paris for South Sudan. And of course, this is a guy who has most recently played in the Israeli Basketball Premier League in the Maccabi Ironi Ramat Gan. So again, experience all over the world actually. Has played in the G League, has played in France as well, and China. So there is a lot of experience there coming from him. And right now, Bokwol with a turnover after Nuni Omot had the steal. Could have been a great moment there for South Sudan. But in South Sudan, first points on the board. Now let's see who can score their first ever field goal here in this one for South Sudan. But Puerto Rico, South Sudan are actually the favorites for some people based on their performance, especially against Team USA. They made headlines after taking Team USA to the very end of in their warm-up game, in their tune-up game. But then, we have to remind everyone, it was a tune-up game. It was a tune-up game. I don't think Team USA treated it as the most competitive game, if you know what I'm saying. And maybe a lot of people got really high on South Sudan based on that warm-up performance. As Jose Alvarado gets a three-pointer here to push the lead up to 11-2. Great start here from Puerto Rico, and Jose Alvarado has his fingerprints all over this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here for Puerto Rico. Alvarado already with 5 points here. 7 points rather. 2 of 2 from the field. And 2 free throws to boot. No turnover, and only just 1 turnover here so far. +9 and a plus-minus, of course, with how they're performing so far. It is 4 of 13 in favor of Puerto Rico. Cardiff Jones gets the first jumper here to go for South Sudan, but it is still all Puerto Rico here in quarter number 1. Looks like the experience here, the Puerto Ricans really coming up to the fore here, and it's going to be a long day for South Sudan. So we'll see what happens here. So taking a look at some of the guys here. Taking a look at some of the guys here on our live chat. And yeah, things are getting a bit chippy there, based on what people think or believe on what the result could be. Now, of course, again, there's still people wondering where you can watch the game. Again, we cannot stream it here live on this particular chat, on this particular YouTube channel, but you go and check the video description here. You can find a link to figure out where you can watch the game wherever you are around the world. Tremont Waters answers back a bull Kuol with 2 points of his own. 15-8 here. You have South Sudan coming back into this game, at least coming into their own. It was a good start here for Puerto Rico, 8-0 run, but Jose Alvarado is taking things into his own hands here. 2 points here for Jose Alvarado. Coming off floater, 17-8, 9-point lead here for the Puerto Ricans. And a miss here coming from Omot, and Romero goes the other way. You know, you take a look at the Jose Alvarado and the role that he plays. We see how this Puerto Rican side has been not necessarily overly reliant on Jose Alvarado, but Jose Alvarado plays a big part in this group. He's one of those players who are a role player in the NBA, as a role player in whatever domestic league that they play in. But then when they puts on a national team jersey, he turns into the star. I mean, like, you have players like that who, you know, role players for their club teams, but then become stars for their national teams. Let us know in the chat who comes into mind when you hear of players like that. I mean, yesterday we asked that question, and someone mentioned Leandro Barbosa in Brazil. A bit of a role player, but comes up big for the national team. So yeah, let us know what you guys think. Nuni Omot makes it a 7-point game after driving in for the layup, and Bull Kuol comes up with the assist. And right now it is a 5-point lead here as Mariel Shayok gets a 2 here for South Sudan. South Sudan coming back into this ball game. Take a look at that drive there. Important there for South Sudan as Carlick Jones makes it a 3-point game. 2-point jumper made. And cue the timeout for Puerto Rico. Never count South Sudan out. A bit of a slow start for them, but now Puerto Rico have taken notice. They call a timeout, guys. What do you guys think? So Indroborn says Dennis Schroeder is one guy who comes up to mind when you think about role players who come up big for national teams. Of course, we see that in Germany. That was a great call there. Blinkless challenge for now mentioning, I believe that's going to be Japet Aguilar for Gilas Pilipinas in the Philippines. Well, Japet's not really necessarily just a role player in the PBA. He is, well, at least back in the day. But yeah, possibly. But also a bit of a role player for Gilas Pilipinas. Which Bogdanovic? I have to ask Indroborn. There are a few Bogdanovics there who play for their national team. So let us know which Bogdanovic you had in mind when you mentioned Bogdanovic. But yeah, I mean, like, we're going to see how this will all work out. And of course, you have guys like Wiwi Nyawe saying, "Come back, boys, South Sudan." And Akaw Dukabior, who also says, "Let's go South Sudan." A lot of South Sudan fans out there. Of course, I'm sure a lot of Puerto Rican fans out there as well. I remember just doing some of the games yesterday when it was between Australia and Spain. There were a lot of Spanish fans in the chat, and then all of a sudden, when Spain started coming back, they got really loud in the chat, and then when Australia really reasserted themselves, it got real quiet. So let's see if we're gonna have some of this later on. So Bogdan Bogdanovic says Indroborn. Yeah, Bogdan Bogdanovic is a good shout. Very good shout for the Serbian national team as a role player in the NBA who becomes a star for their national team. And yeah, just really automatic whenever he plays for Serbia. Of course, there's just a different pride when you play for a national team, you know? I can only assume that that's a big thing. And, ooh, Kaman Maluak ends up making it a 1-point game here. Puerto Rico, oh boy, they got to be careful here. The biggest lead was at 9, and it has evaporated here in the span of a few minutes with South Sudan coming back into this one. Blinkless Challenge says Patty Mills. John Martin Sarmiento says Nicholas Batum and Patty Mills. Yeah, Batum also plays a much bigger role for France. Patty Mills as well, yeah. You know, Matty Delabadova, also one of those guys who comes up big. So yeah, Luka Doncic. I don't think that's a real Luka Doncic on our chat. He says, where can I watch the game? Again, please check the video description below to see where the local providers in your country, wherever you are around the world, are providing the Olympic Games for you. As right now, just a lot of action happening at the rim. South Sudan defending the rim with a lot of athleticism. They are getting up and jumping and trying and making it hell to go into the paint here. JT Thor, in particular, they're really fired up with that one. And two free throws awarded for Ismael Romero. And just looking at that, yeah, you know what? I just saw the replay. They may have a point here talking about South Sudan. May have, but then there's also a bit of contact there in the elbow. So yeah, we can see why. But you know what? They may say ball don't lie. Ismael Romero misses the two free throws, and it's a turnover here for Romero and the rest of Puerto Rico. South Sudan chance to take the lead. Can they take the lead here? Can they take the lead here, South Sudan? It could be their first lead of the Olympics, or first in history. Again, the nice thing about covering a team like South Sudan, very young, and everything they do is going to be a first. It's going to be a historic first for them. Of course, Puerto Rico will make it tough on them because they are just that good. Puerto Rico are tried and tested, a great side, and really a team that maybe, people say that, South Sudan's underrated, but I'd argue Puerto Rico's a bit underrated. I've seen a lot of people favor South Sudan heavily going into this game, but I just felt that Puerto Rico are going to be the team that could probably buck those odds. So we'll see. I mean, like, just the NBA experience that they have, the history that they had, they know what it takes as a nation to actually be here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. A miss here from both sides. Shayok and Alvarado for the respective squads. Missing out on their late attempts. Still a 1-point lead here for Puerto Rico. Defensive rebound here for Ortiz after the cool missed lay-in. Let's see what happens here. So right now, yeah, there are people here who are Chugor says we can shock Puerto Rico. But I'm actually really curious. What do you guys think? Jose Alvarado hits a 3-pointer to make it a 4-point lead here for Puerto Rico. What do you guys think? Like, going into this one, do you feel that South Sudan were the favorites, or were Puerto Rico the favorites here? Because I believe personally, I thought I understood why a lot of people favored South Sudan. I think it was because of how they performed against Team USA in their warm-up games. But then, Puerto Rico, I'm just looking at the pedigree that they have, and it's hard to ignore it, rather. Straymon Waters hits a 3-pointer here, pushes the lead up to 23-16. Remember, it was 17-16 just a while ago. But then all of a sudden, a 6-0 run here for Puerto Rico ups the lead up here to 6, or rather 7. So yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Actually, Harvey Bundalian on the chat saying that, yeah, if you watch USA against South Sudan, if South Sudan get a rhythm, they're going to be hard to stop. It will be going on and on and on. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out if that's going to be the case. But of course, difficult. It's going to be a bit difficult for South Sudan, I think, to go on the type of run that they did as well, especially when you have a Puerto Rican side who's as feisty as they are. Straymon Waters it's given up a foul here. So 2 free throws here for South Sudan. Much needed free throws here for South Sudan after a 6-0 run. So it says Chugor says that he acknowledges Puerto Rico's experience, but he believes that anything can happen. That's right. That's why we love this game. Anything could happen. You never know. I mean, like, I don't believe we've seen a upset here in the Olympic Games so far. Just taking a look at some of the results that we had here. So for those who have been following the Olympics, Yesterday, France almost got upset by Brazil. They had a really bad start, 78-66. Canada took one over Greece, which I believe people would have expected, 86-79. Germany took down Japan by 20, 97-77. And in the opening game of the Olympics, Australia beat a long-time bogey team in Spain, 92-80. Of course, a lot of games to watch out for here later on of Team USA, and Serbia will have a game later, and I am sure a lot of people will be up for that, and we'll try and see just how this Team USA looks as well. The score at the moment with Gian Clavel getting a 3-point jumper to go, 26-18 in favor of Puerto Rico. Take a look at the stats here for Puerto Rico. The Puerto Rico are shooting a red hot 67% from beyond the arc, while South Sudan have yet to hit a 3-point shot. Yet to hit a 3-point shot, but Wayne Gabriel gets a 2-pointer to go to make it a 6-point ball game. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here for South Sudan. Again, still no 3 points made. They've only attempted 3 though. It's not really in their game to shoot from beyond the arc. But Puerto Rico here, they've really lit it up. 6 of 9 from beyond the arc at the moment. Coming for the Puerto Rican side. The South Americans doing really well, stretching the floor. And again, Agut Leak asking where is it covered live. Again, you can check the video description to try and find out where you can see the game by your local provider, wherever you are around the world. We cannot watch the game here live on this YouTube channel. The FIBA basketball channel YouTube does not have the rights to that. But again, this is a second screen experience. Feel free to subscribe, join in on the conversation happening on the chat here. It's getting feisty there as well. Blinkless Challenge says anything can happen. That is why USA will be a silver medalist, and he thinks the gold medal will go to Australia. Oh, we'll find out. We'll find out if that's going to be the case. Obviously, I think we're all going to have different opinions right after this. Right after Team USA plays our first game against Serbia. Gian Clavel gets a 2-point lay-in to go at the end of this first quarter. It's now an 8-point lead here for Puerto Rico, 28-20. Great start here from Puerto Rico. They went on an 8-0 sprint, and 8 points is the difference here. That 8-0 sprint to start out the game, as South Sudan were scoreless for a big part of it. So that last point from Clavel coming off a turnover off an inbound on the other side of the floor. Man, Puerto Rico really taking advantage there. They're such a feisty team. They're such a team wherein, you gotta be sure that you're so safe with the ball, because things can go awry so quickly. Yeah, I mean, like South Sudan was hitting threes against Team USA according to Macron 100. Yeah, here today though, not the case. Take a look at the stats here coming for South Sudan, 0% from beyond the arc. And the other thing is that they're not even really trying to take those shots. Taking a look at their numbers here, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc is South Sudan. You gotta wonder, where will their scoring come from if the 3-point ball isn't really something that they are really relying on? Of course, on the other end, Puerto Rico doing very well from beyond the arc, 6 of 9. That's good for 67%. Let's take a look at some of the other stats here. Then of quarter number 1, 54% from the 2-point land is South Sudan, while Puerto Rico shooting at 50%, but then overall 59% here for Puerto Rico in terms of their field goal shooting. All even up in rebounds, 9 apiece, and South Sudan actually leading in assists and steals in 4 and 3. But then take a look at this. Points of turnover is going to be a key stat here to watch out for. Puerto Rico leading this one 11-4 and outrunning South Sudan just by 1, 7-6. But then the points of turnovers, South Sudan have to take care of the ball. I think that's the key issue at the end of quarter number 1 that they have to look at. Right now, points in the paint as well in favor of South Sudan as expected, but then Puerto Rico have been doing all their damage from the perimeter, especially from beyond the arc. Points from the bench, 5 of 2 in favor here of Puerto Rico. Once again, thank you very much for joining us here on the FIBA Basketball Chat Party on the FIBA Basketball channel on YouTube. And of course, you can become a member and allow exclusive content, custom badges, access to our dedicated Discord server, and enjoy member-only videos. The link is on the chat. Make sure you join us. Then for those who want to win an official game ball, send a $2 super chat to enter our daily giveaway. Good luck to that. Once again, I'm Paulo De Rosario. Thank you very much for joining us here in this chat party. And we are looking for 3-pointers here for South Sudan. They finally have one. Peter Jock gets a 3-pointer here for South Sudan. Their first here of the entire game. Now 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. That's big. Oh, but look at this. Back-to-back 3-pointers here for South Sudan. Sunday Dech making it a 2-point game. 28-26 South Sudan. All of a sudden, it didn't even take them a minute. They are now within 1 possession of Puerto Rico. 9:07 left here in the second quarter. Never count South Sudan out. They are coming up big. So much energy here at the start of the second quarter. Defensive rebound after Jordan Howard misses a 3-pointer. Can they take the lead with a 3? Pardon me there, excuse me. Got a bit too excited there as well. Welcome to Jito Gee, who comes in as a rookie after subscribing. Of course, if you subscribe, we're gonna shout you out. So if you want to shout out, just subscribe. Just join the program. He comes in as a rookie. Of course, we had some who are more MVPs. Right now, South Sudan. Boy, what a run. What a run here to start out the second quarter. 6-0 run to make it a 28-26 game in favor still of Puerto Rico. But then South Sudan, all of a sudden, look like they have a whole new weapon, a whole new arsenal to use to try and get one over Puerto Rico. We talked a while ago how they were 0 of 3. Now they're 2 of 6. Down to 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. That makes all the difference. Now 33% from the field. 6 points here in the second quarter. And of course, again, for some people still looking for the stream, make sure you go and check out the link below the description to try and figure out where you can watch it in your local provider, because we cannot show the game here. We cannot show the game here on this YouTube channel. It's Puerto Rico, though. Can they hold off South Sudan? This is a fantastic quarter for South Sudan. 8-0 start here for South Sudan, because right now Peter Jock gets a lay-in tied ball game. 28 all. Woo. Look, Puerto Rico are as listless as South Sudan was in the start of quarter number 1. But as I say that, what an answer from Jordan Howard. 3-pointer here to give the lead back to Puerto Rico. 31-28. Important there. And it's not just a 3-point jumper made. It is a basket and one. Chance here for Jordan Howard to get the bonus and make it a 4-point play. Oof. If I was a Puerto Rican fan, I'd be a bit worried, But then what a start here. South Sudan. That was a big 3. Marcos Javier saying that was big. That was a big 3-pointer there from Jordan Howard, and an important one as well. Again, it was an 8-0 rally coming from South Sudan, basically mirroring the great start of Puerto Rico in quarter number 1. Again, this is why South Sudan are going to be one of the teams to really enjoy watching. If you take a look at that 3 there from Jordan Howard and how he drew that foul, and that was something. Of course, Jordan Howard makes the free throw. Jumper made a miss by Mariel Shayok. As Puerto Rico have a chance to up their lead to make it a 3-possession ball game with a 3, or just make it a bit more difficult with a 2 here. Thank you to everyone watching. Again, South Sudan leading the Super Chat Challenge right down there. Again, for every $2 submitted for the super chat challenge, you give yourself a chance to win a game ball. So hopefully you can win it there as well. Shouting out Prince Costa, who has now joined the FIBA basketball channel as a rookie, as Gian Clavel. Gian Clavel gets a big three-pointer here coming for Puerto Rico. So after two three-pointers to start out the quarter for South Sudan, and Peter Jock getting a two inside, Gian Clavel and Jordan Howard have combined to make it a good answer here. 7-0 rally for them. Make it 9-3 because Looney almost hit the three-pointer for South Sudan just now. Score is 37-31. Puerto Rico in the lead. Puerto Rico in the lead, but then we are now seeing a more dangerous South Sudan side. Again, let's take a look at what South Sudan has been doing in this game, because South Sudan were really listless from beyond the arc. They were 0 of 3 at the end of the first quarter, now 3 of 8, now shooting 38% from beyond the arc. Someone mentioned a while ago on our chat that against Team USA, when they did really, really well, the South Sudan side was just hitting their three-pointers and really made it difficult for Team USA. Different story here, though. Their three-point shot hasn't necessarily been their friend, inconsistent at best. But then here in quarter number 2, South Sudan getting the three-pointers that was really absent in quarter number 1. Maybe it was them nervous. Maybe they're going into this game, but Puerto Rico just have been a bit more steady here, even in the face of that run from South Sudan. Gian Clavel, by the way, oh no, that's a bit older. So right now the last point was scored by Jose Alvarado, which happened half a minute ago. Game's starting to slow down here as well. And again, a lot of people here on our chat showing their colors, cheering for South Sudan and Puerto Rico. Thank you very much for joining us here, by the way, for the second screen experience. George Condit IV gets fouled, and fouled by Wenyan Gabriel. And a chance here to up the lead here of Puerto Rico, who briefly saw South Sudan even things up at 28 all after an 8-0 start here to quarter number 2. I've righted the ship here somewhat, talking about Puerto Rico. But then South Sudan, more of this, saying you never know what could happen. And yeah, so Angie actually said it right. We aren't allowed to show the game live here on the YouTube channel. The FIBA basketball channel does not have the rights to the Olympics. That's why we have the links to where you can catch the Olympic Games wherever you are around the world through your local provider. So go check out the link in the video description below. And of course, right now, Kuwik Jeremiah said, "Hey South Sudan, we need to come back." Yeah, they do. They do need to come back. But then, all credit here to Puerto Rico, making life difficult for them. When Gabriel checks out for the meantime, Kaman Maluak comes in for South Sudan. Now, for those wondering, we're sending different messages here to the chat from the FIBA admin. They're saying, join our membership for exclusive perks. Get a shout out from our commentator. That's me during the stream. Join now as well. And of course, again, the Super Chat Challenge down here is also a way that you can participate. And right now, in the Super Chat Challenge, South Sudan leading $5-1. So South Sudan winning that one at the very least. So Marco Zambelli says this is their debut in the Olympics. That's why they're not attempting too much from 3. They're a bit nervous. However, everything can still happen. That's interesting. Maybe nerves are the reason why they're not shooting from beyond the arc. But then I just have to say, no room for nerves here in the Olympics. You gotta adjust. It's a sink or float. Hector Ramos coming up with a lot of Puerto Rican flags there. It was Marcos Javier. Peter Jock gets a three-pointer here for South Sudan. Much needed three-pointer there. 34-40 still count here in favor of Puerto Rico. Jose Alvarado, by the way, hit a 2 just a while ago, in case you're wondering where that score came from Puerto Rico. But again, the three ball finally falling here for South Sudan. Important here, South Sudan, their 3-point shooting now up to 33% after shooting 0% a while ago in quarter number 1. Only attempting 3 times though. But then let's take a look at the 3-point shooting here of Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico are shooting 62% at the moment. Just check the numbers there. Yeah, absolutely. 62% from beyond the arc, or they are now shooting 8 of 13. Oh, that's going to be tough. How can you be a team that's shooting 62% and are not gun shy, really? That's going to be tough here for South Sudan. Can they slow down the perimeter defense? So yeah, Bobby Brown asking, does anyone have a stream for the actual game? Again, check the video description below. See where you can watch the game and the Olympics in general, wherever you are around the world, by your local providers. Of course, let's see what will happen here. I'm actually interested to see what will happen during the halftime break, because you had to feel that South Sudan definitely improved here in quarter number 2, especially with the perimeter shooting. They are actually leading quarter scoring here 14-12, especially after that 8-0 rally coming from South Sudan to open up the second quarter. But even though we say it's an 8-0 rally for South Sudan, since then it was a 12-6 run in favor of Puerto Rico. That's the reason why they're still leading here, 40-36. It was even up at 28 all here in the middle of the second quarter. Bulk Wall comes in to tip it in, 36-40, still in favor of Puerto Rico. So we'll find out. We'll find out here whether or not South Sudan could do something here. George Conn gets a 2 here for Puerto Rico, but then Carlick Jones drives in for 2 of his own. We talked a lot about Carlick Jones for South Sudan. 6 points in this game so far, and probably a guy we can expect to do a bit more here. Peter Jockley in the scoring here so far for South Sudan with 8 points. 8 points here. Puerto Rico, on the other hand, being paced by Jose Alvarado with 16 points already. Tremont Waters already has 11 as well. Gian Clavel with 8. Jordan Howard 4, and George Condit the 4th with 3. Those are scores for Puerto Rico so far. As time starting to wind down here in the first half, 3:37 left here, based on the count I have on this live chat. (38-42) as Jose Pinheiro makes it 43-38. After making the first of 2 free throws after being fouled by Carlick Jones. Let's take a look at some of what everyone has to say in the chat here so far. South Sudan now trailing 38-44 against Puerto Rico. What do you guys think South Sudan need to do in the second half in particular? There were a lot of good changes here in the second half in second quarter rather, for South Sudan. Particularly, they got their perimeter game going. They really upped their shooting from beyond the arc. And you just gotta feel that there's a bit more swagger here from South Sudan, but then Puerto Rico doing enough just to... Well, they did tie the ball game, but then South Sudan never took the lead. So they just did enough to really hold off South Sudan despite all of it. And Bulk Wall will send Jose Alvarado to the line to shoot 2. So let us know what you guys think. Also, let us know who you think will win, because we got a poll going up right now. Who do you guys got? Puerto Rico or South Sudan? Really simple question. Alexandre Layoen asking us, well, how many assists does Jose Alvarado have already? So let's bring that up for him there. These are special requests. I do special requests. What numbers you want to be seeing? 3 assists so far. Oh, rather, it's Carlick Jones, rather. Let me try that again. 2 assists so far for Jose Alvarado to go with 2 rebounds. But Jose Alvarado also shooting the lights out. 75% from the field, 67% from beyond the arc. 2 of 3 here as Jose Alvarado, role player in the NBA, star player for Puerto Rico. And that's how it is. So that's and Quick Jeremiah asking Cardick Jones to do something, brother. What has Cardick Jones done in this game so far? 8 points here, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 rebound and 3 assists. I think it's safe to say he's doing something. He's doing something. I think people want him to do more. I think that's how it is. As Jose Alvarado drains the splits the free throws, but Nuni almost makes it a 5-point game, going in for lay-in. Great assist there from Peter Jock. And right now, we even have Greece fans here. They're saying that the score difference need to be as low as possible for Greece. Let's take a look at that. Actually, what's happening in the tables here for the men. So the group mates here for South Sudan, Puerto Rico are Team USA and Serbia. This is the first game of Group C. All the games already are done for Groups A and B. At least everyone played their first games. For those wondering, Australia and Canada top Group A after their respective wins. Greece and Spain. Spain's now actually at the bottom with a point difference of -12 for Spain. Greece only -7. For Group B, it is Germany and France who are up top. Brazil, again, almost had a chance to scare France. They actually led by double digits in the first quarter against France. Just fell short there. It is -12 for Brazil, only -20 here for Japan, who are at the bottom of the table of Group B. And of course, Group C, we're going to find out what happens here. Gian Clavel gets a three-pointer to go here for Puerto Rico, making it 48-40. Good answer there coming for the Puerto Ricans. True Gore saying Wendy Gabriel should do something. Of course, there's a lot of expectations for certain players who have NBA experience, and you can completely understand that. Cardick Jones, by the way, throws a foul from Jose Pinheiro, gets the first of 2 free throws. Yeah, NBA experience really important in the international stage. It also comes with a lot of reputation, a lot of expectations. You gotta feel though, are some of those expectations too much just because they're NBA players? Maybe there's some NBA players out there who really are more suited to role players, and when given more responsibility, it doesn't necessarily flourish as much as some people expected. Like, we're seeing something different, like for example, from Jose Alvarado, who's coming up really big here for Puerto Rico. Cardick Jones, by the way, doing a good job getting 2 free throws. And then there is a block shot coming from JT Thor, who goes all the way and gets a dunk here for South Sudan. What a play here from JT Thor. Just swatting that away. And then all of a sudden, JT Thor just running the floor on the other end, went all the way, saw that open lane and drove in for the dunk. And with that dunk, forced a timeout for Puerto Rico. 4-point lead here for the Puerto Ricans. South Sudan back in business. And everyone, actually, I'm seeing shots here from the stadium in Paris. Well, everyone's enjoying the South Sudan show here. Again, they are underdog fan favorites. Talk about South Sudan. But Puerto Rico, eager to break that narrative, and they're doing a very good job at it, by the way, just holding off every single run South Sudan has made so far. John Jones, welcome to the program, joining in as a rookie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us here on the FIBA The Basketball channel. Once again, if you want to be shouted out like John Jones, come join and subscribe. And also join that Super Chat challenge. It hasn't moved yet as much. I wonder if we're going to update that in just a bit. If we can refresh that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So there it is. Hello, even the chat admin, who I'm not in the same room with, also says hi to John Jones. Nancy Ko says, South Sudan all the way. But right now, Puerto Rico have been leading all the way. Let's see if that changes anytime soon. Angela Tanurdzik with the South Sudan flag. Figure says, support Sudan. From the Philippines, Malasa Consalvo versus Puerto Rico are the true underdogs. South Sudan, they say it's an American program. Well, I'd argue Luel Deng is more British. Right? More British. Luel Deng. He played for GB, if I'm not mistaken. Internationally. Is that right? Let me just double check that here. At this point, research is our friend. Yeah. Luel Deng actually played more for England, so not really as American. But of course, there's a lot of connections there. So Alvarado gets the first of 2 free throws. Right after the timeout, Nuni Omot fouls Jose Alvarado, and Alvarado gets the 2 free throws to stop that little run because there was a lot of energy going the way of South Sudan. Great timeout by from Puerto Rico. That's where coaching really helps out. The timing of the timeouts, very important. No, for Goofy glitch a lot. Asking if what happens if a team loses. It is single elimination. No, it's not. It's a group stage round robin, and then top 2 teams plus whatever permutations for the third place teams to determine who moves on to the next round. So that's something to watch out for as well. So you get to see more of Puerto Rico and South Sudan. This is game number 1 here in the Paris Olympics. Obviously running from July 27 to August 10. And we love. I'm been a big fan of the Olympic Games, just watching how everything's going on in all the sports and really enjoying it. It's not just basketball happening here. We're also going to cover women's basketball, by the way. Hope to have you there for those live chats as well. So Majok Deng gets a 2-point lay into fall with less than a minute left here. Make it a 4-point game once again. Still in favor of Puerto Rico, though. But Christopher Ortiz answers back with a 3. A big 3 there. Jose Alvarado with the assist. For the one who was concerned about the assist numbers of Jose Alvarado now up to 3. Big triple there coming for Christopher Ortiz, making it 53-46 in favor of the Puerto Ricans. Garlic Jones, though, answers back with a 2-point stab off the driving lane. South Sudan will try to prevent Puerto Rico from scoring again, but Peter Jock fouls Tremont Waters, and 2 free throws will be awarded to him in the die moments of this first half. And of course, we'll see how this one ends here. Rowan Ball says, big love from Ethiopia. Let's go South Sudan. Again, South Sudan just doing a great job representing the continent of Africa. Doing a great job in the FIBA Basketball World Cup, by the way. Finishing as the top nation from Africa. That's the reason why they're here. And, to be honest, really leaving a good account for themselves. But a moment of concern here for Puerto Rico, because Jose Alvarado has hit the deck. He looks injured here. Quite sure which part here. And has to be helped out. Jose Alvarado limping off the floor. Right leg. So, I'm going to watch the replay here and try to give you a blow-by-blow of exactly what happened. So I'm watching the right leg here. It's a non-contact injury, actually, for Jose Alvarado, holding on to his right ankle. Yeah, right now, Jose Alvarado, not quite sure. To the locker room, but gets a nice standing ovation from the fans. Okay, that's going to be a game changer here, with Alvarado making his way back to the locker room. He's now putting a bit of weight on his right ankle, but still being supported by 2 medical staff members. Talking about Jose Alvarado. let's hope that he's gonna be okay. Man, again, that's gonna be a big blow here for Puerto Rico. Goofy Glitchola says that he'll come back after halftime break. Oh, we'll see. Juan Banyama saying that this is a easy game for Sudan. Sudan haven't yet to lead here, so we'll see if that will be the case. But then, of course, a timeout there after the injury for Jose Alvarado. Oof, what a moment there. Now let's see. Let's see how Puerto Rico manage here without Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado, by the way, exits the game here so far. We don't know if he'll return or not, but with 19 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and is a +9 in this game with an efficiency rating of 18. So without him on the floor, we can expect a bit more, maybe from Isaiah Pinheiro. In terms of the playmaking duties, George Condit, the fourth, maybe, has only played around 7 minutes in this game so far. Alvarado has played 16 of the 20. So going to the 17th minute. Juan Banyama says Alvarado is the reason why Puerto Rico is leading. Well, we'll find out. That's going to be the case. So Marcos Javier says it's 5:55 a.m. in Puerto Rico. Thank you very much for being with us here. Despite the early hours. Who knows? You may wake up that early. Well, right now, yeah, a lot of people are really sad that Alvarado is hurt. Me personally, yeah, same. Right ankle, it looks like. But again, for those on our chat right now, without Alvarado on the floor, not assuming that he's not going to come back, but then who do you think needs to step up here for Puerto Rico? Because that's going to be a big question. Very big question mark here. Yeah, and for those wondering if there was dogs on my background, yes, there was. I do not know how to turn off the dogs. That's on me. They were sad too. They were sad that a player like Alvarado came off the floor injured, and they were saying no. But yeah, Melissa Consabor is saying that Alvarado isn't the only reason why Puerto Rico are leading because of the deep bench of 3-point shooters. But you know what? South Sudan, they have to be looking at this one and saying this is a chance for them to make a comeback if Alvarado can't come back in the third quarter. Also, I really find it interesting that they have to climb upstairs to get to the locker rooms because Alvarado needs a lot of help to climb up to go to the locker rooms. I wonder if that's going to be something that they're going to address moving forward, just in anticipation if someone else needs a bit of recovery. But yeah, you know what? A chance here for South Sudan. Just looking at the personnel. Just looking at the personnel here. But then again, South Sudan have yet to lead here. It's a team game. Puerto Rico have done well. Obviously, such an important part of this team. You take a look. I'm going to take a look at some of the numbers here, game stats wise. Take a look at the team. So Junar Binag asking, is Alvarado done for the game? We don't know yet. We'll find out soon enough. South Sudan, who was 0 of 3 to start out the game from beyond the arc at the end of the first quarter, are now shooting 27% in this game. That is around 4 of 15. That is a big improvement for what we've seen in quarter number 1. Obviously, still on the lead, talking about Puerto Rico shooting at 67%. That has been a big number from beyond the arc there for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, 67% is 10 of 15. Yeah, that's really the difference there. The 3-point shooting has been big. 3-point shooting has come from two guys mainly, Gian Clavel and Tremont Waters, each of them with three 3-point baskets each. Waters is shooting at 75% of 3 of 4, and Clavel has yet to miss from beyond the arc. Jose Alvarado hit 2 of 3 from beyond the arc before coming down with injury, but Jordan Howard and Christopher Ortiz also adding on to the 3-point shooting party for the Puerto Ricans. More on the stats here. Free throw shooting, very good here for South Sudan, shooting at 89%. And the exact numbers there for South Sudan free throw shooting, 8 of 9. Really important if you want to stay close in this one against Puerto Rico. Taking with the other numbers here, the rebounding battle being won handily by South Sudan, 23-16. 9 offensive rebounds compared to only 3 for Puerto Rico. And that has been a key difference here, the offensive rebounding battle that Puerto Rico is losing. Second chance points is big here for South Sudan, ending up with 9 second chance points to 0 against Puerto Rico. And points in the paint obviously dominated by South Sudan as well, 24-10. They are the longer, more athletic team. I think that's somewhat expected. Points of turnovers though, Puerto Rico leading that one 11-8. So we are going to see what can be done here. Because at the moment, 11 points from turnovers from Puerto Rico. That's something that they're going to want to build on. In the quarter scoring, South Sudan actually won that quarter 28-20. 28-26 about South Sudan. That's a great win for them. But then, of course, it's still a long way to go. They need to find a way. And you say, everyone chill out. Everyone chill out. Let's see what happens. Maxiel Villegas asking me if I'm in the Philippines or in Paris. No, I am in the Philippines. I don't think this is how Paris would look like. If I was in Paris, I would not be in a room. I'll be outside enjoying what's happening. Maybe even at the venue. Right now, just taking a look at some of the chats here. A lot of concern here for Jose Alvarado. A lot of concern here. Melaza says, we're taking the bronze back home, but Marcos Javier says, no, we want the gold. Angie saying that, Angie says that everyone take a chill pill, but then follows it up and saying, it might be a broken ankle. Again, we're not going to hope for that. We're going to hope that it is just a minor injury and that we can see Jose Alvarado later on. Again, the game is so much better when you have all the stars present and ready for the for this particular Olympics. And of course, we want to see them shine. And Jose Alvarado has definitely been one of the guys shining here for Puerto Rico. For South Sudan, though, let's take a look at some of the numbers here. Only one player in double-digit scoring. 12 points for Carlick Jones, shooting 4 of 7 from the field. And Nunu Omot has 3 of 8 from the field as well. Peter Jock, 3 of 4. And perfect from beyond the arc at 2 of 2. A lot of people are wondering, where's JT Thor? Where's Wenyan Gabriel? Guys with NBA experience. Both of them have only combined for 4 points in this one, but have been rebounding well. Combination of the two of them, 9 rebounds here so far. And they have been deterrents, to say the least, here in terms of the defensive effort. But then offensively, it's Carlick Jones leading the way here with 3 assists to go with his 12 points. And it looks like Nuni Omot and Peter Jock are knocking on the door of double-digit scoring as well. How do South Sudan get over Puerto Rico without a Jose Alvarado on the floor? At least it's seeming like it. We're gonna hope that he comes back in the third quarter, by the way, for this game. And if you're Puerto Rico, how do you hold off South Sudan in the off chance or in the possibility that Jose Alvarado cannot return in this game? We'll see. We'll see what that would be like in just a few. Let's take a look at, for those wondering, Daurapi Alvarado, what happened was the Alvarado injured his right ankle. It looked like a non-contact injury, but of course, I'm no doctor. I just watch it on the screen. So we'll see if there's any official notice coming from Jose Alvarado later on. Of course, I'll be I'll be checking on social media as well from reliable sources to try and figure out the status of Jose Alvarado. As right now, that's obviously going to be really important for them. Escort to the locker room. A bit difficult. Yeah, so no news yet on whether or not Jose Alvarado can return to this game, but we're going to hope for the best. Again, thank you very much for joining us here on this chat party. On this chat party here in the FIBA YouTube page. FIBA, the basketball channel, YouTube channel. Of course, unfortunately, we cannot show the game live, as explained a while ago. But we are very happy to have you guys over here. If you prefer this soundtrack compared to what you hear on your TV screens, wherever you are around the world, thank you very much for choosing us and, of course, joining us on the live chat as well. And giving us a lot to talk about, a lot of great banter on the side here. Who has impressed you this game so far? Let us know. Carlick Jones obviously doing very well. Jose Alvarado, the best player on the floor in the first two quarters. That's very objectively speaking, just looking at the numbers. But then coming out with injury here, they may have to turn to Tremont Waters a bit more here on the offensive end. So let's see what happens there. A lot of interested parties, I'm sure, looking at the lineup here for Puerto Rico going into the third quarter. And why not? That could be a big factor. That could spell the difference between a win or a loss here. All right, so let's take a look at the chat here. South Sudan defense is great, but definitely needs more ball handling and attacking the rim, according to Reg VC. Malaza Consabor says Puerto Rico team solid even without Alvarado. We'll see. Yeah, and then right now the South Sudan team just needs confidence going to the Beast Titan. And size advantage for, according to Trent Boring, not really being taken advantage of by South Sudan. Oh, let's see. Well, actually, again, points in the paint, very much, I think that's a very size-dependent stat. Points in the paint, as well as rebounding. 9 offensive rebounds compared to 3 for South Sudan, in favor of South Sudan. And 9 second chance points as a result of that, and 24 points in the paint. Yeah, I think they're trying to use their size pretty well. Do It Again 22 says that this is what real basketball looks like. They like that. They love that. D. Kenty is wondering, we will see how they will defeat SSD, South Sudan. Oh, confident. Confident there. And yeah, we'll see what else are saying. Beast Titan saying that the confidence is still not there because of the 3-point shooting. Viral24 asking me, is Brownie my favorite player from the Philippines? I don't know about favorite, but definitely up there. Definitely up there. Yeah. So we'll see. Right, by the way, we are still running the poll there asking who you got. We started 24 minutes ago. And right now there are around 2,000 plus votes here. 68% of you saying South Sudan are going to take this victory. But Puerto Rico have yet to concede the lead here in this game so far. They've led for 19 minutes and 25 seconds of this 20-minute first half. Let's see. Let's see how it all works out from there. Puerto Rico have been shooting the ball well from beyond the arc. And we'll find out whether or not that will continue here. If you're South Sudan, you're also probably wondering how can you defend the 3-point line better. I mean, will it have to be changing their defensive scheme? Maybe apply more switching defense, inviting them into the paint. They do have the length and the size to actually do it. And without Alvarado there, just less of, I guess, a central point, more of a fulcrum here for Puerto Rico. Interesting to see how they will line up here going into the third quarter. And again, people are still wondering, is there any news about Alvarado? Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, but we'll see. All right, again, while waiting for this third quarter, thank you very much for joining us once again. Just a reminder that you also have the option to join this channel. Come in as a rookie, an MVP, and so on and so forth. Come in and join. You get a bunch of goodies here from FIBA, and also you can join the Super Chat Challenge right down there. You can support us with a $2 super chat. Your contributions can help us deliver even better streams. Plus, you'll enter a chance to win an official game ball. Make sure you do that as well. Do it again, 22. Says that 2 underdog teams battle for this crucial win. Jose Alvarado is a key factor in Puerto Rico to win this game. And South Sudan should play with pride and determination the way they played against Team USA. Again, that game against Team USA for South Sudan, I feel that perhaps that particular game may have increased expectations here for South Sudan in a way that maybe people did not expect, only because Team USA, I felt Team USA treated it like a warm-up game. South Sudan were a bit more deliberate in that game, and that's the reason why it turned out the way it did. But then again, this is the real thing. This is the real deal. This is the Olympics. Puerto Rico giving South Sudan all that they can handle, answering every single run that South Sudan has thrown at them so far. Right now, let's see. Minjong saying that I'm surprised that Puerto Rico's in the lead. Gyotyak, we don't hope that. We all hope that Alvarado comes back simply because the healthy players, that's all we want. We don't want any injuries. And of course, we want the best players on the floor. B. Kenzie saying whether or not he comes back, they're going to win. So let's see. Marcos Xavier saying, let's go Puerto Rico. I'm just trying to get a little sneak peek at what's happening right now on the bench here for Puerto Rico. Alvarado it looks like, is not coming back for the second half. At least that's what I gathered from the commentator. And without him there, who do you turn to? Where does the ball go? If you're Puerto Rico, you're most likely giving the ball more to Tremont Waters, who's already at 12 points in this one. 12 points at this one, plus 8 in terms of the raw plus minus, 10 in efficiency. And right now, another Puerto Rican player down early on. But then at the same time, even despite the turnover there from Puerto Rico, the miss there from South Sudan start things out. So again, interesting. The first shot here of South Sudan was a 3-pointer. They only shot 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. They've improved in the second quarter. So only 3 3-point attempts made in that first quarter. They ended up taking 13 attempts in the second quarter, talking about South Sudan. And in that second quarter, they shot 4 of 13 from beyond the arc. Not necessarily great numbers, but there's now a sudden emphasis. Space out the floor. Use your 3-point shooting if you're South Sudan. Let's see if they can find the mark here. But so far, so good. A missed layup there for Ismael Romero. We're still looking for the first points here in the third quarter. Missed layups for both teams here. When Gabriel coming up with an offensive rebound and getting the lay-in to go 54 to 50. First point on the board, first blood to South Sudan here in quarter number 3. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Paulo de Rosario for this Paris 2024 Olympic Games chat party on the FIBA basketball channel YouTube page. Really excited to have all of you here. Around almost hitting 1,000 people watching this stream. Invite your friends, invite your family, come in and let's get those numbers up here. And of course, I will try and read more of this. Let's try to read more of this as well. The comments here happening on the chat. And for those wondering where you can watch live, go and check the video description at the bottom to find out where you can see it in wherever country you're at via your local providers. I'm Filipino. I know where to watch it in the Philippines. You can catch it on the Filipinas Live app, as well as right now we're seeing Jose Alvarado trying to warm up. By the way, warm up that right ankle, and let's see if he can come back here. The fact that he's warming up, it's doing good. It's doing good. Yeah, so people saying that maybe Clavel can take Alvarado's position at the moment. And right now, yeah, Quick Jeremiah saying South Sudan missing a lot of shots, especially from the perimeter. Gotta agree with that. That things can change though. South Sudan, we all know they are a very streaky team in a good way. If they can go on a little run, we saw them go on an 8-0 run a while ago in the second quarter to open things up. They tied the ball game up at 28 all. They're very capable of that. The question is right now, Puerto Rico have been pressuring the ball really high, forcing turnovers, making it difficult for South Sudan to get into their sets, really testing their athleticism, and I think that's one of the reasons why South Sudan have been having a hard time really just getting into their sets. It's a running game here, almost, but South Sudan, they have yet to find the rhythm here in the third quarter. They can get to it though. And here's good news to Puerto Rican fans. Jose Alvarado checks back into this one. And after that scary moment where we didn't know whether or not he's going to come back, Puerto Rico have their top scorer back here, 19 points again in that first half to go with 2 rebounds and 2 assists. But how healthy is he? If I'm South Sudan, I'm going to test whether or not he can actually stay in front of defenders right now. So let's see what happens. Chaz Johnson asking, will USA and Serbia be on NBC in a few hours? Check your local. I would suggest you check your local providers on the video description here at the bottom, just to find out where you can catch the games you want to catch wherever you are around the world. But let's pay tribute now to Mariel Shayok, who hits a big 3 here for South Sudan, making a 1-point game in favor of Puerto Rico, 54 to 53. But then South Sudan knocking on the door yet again. They have yet to take the lead here. Draymond Waters turns the ball over. Chance here for South Sudan to take the lead. It's still early days in the third quarter, but Nouni Omot with a big 3 and the first taste of the lead here for South Sudan, 56 to 54 in favor of the African nation. And cue the timeout from Puerto Rico. They need to sort themselves out. The 3-point shooting has been working here for South Sudan. 2 back-to-back 3-pointers coming from South Sudan. Omot and Shayok getting the 3-pointers. And don't look now, Puerto Rico, but South Sudan are in the lead and they are feeling it. We talked about the adjustments that need to happen in quarter number 3. South Sudan have gone from barely shooting any 3-pointers. Quarter number 1 only shot 3 3-pointers. Quarter number 3, and made none, by the way, in quarter number 1. In quarter number 2, they shot 13, made 4. And right now here in quarter number 3, they have been trying to get more 3-pointers down, and they got back-to-back triples here. Omot and Shayok, lead going to South Sudan. It is party time here in the chat for the South Sudan fans. All right, right now, during this timeout, we want to say hello to Kume Swole, who has who subscribed and joined the FIBA basketball channel, Curtis as a rookie, as well as Clark Jeb Aranton coming in as a starter. Thank you very much for joining us here. What a game we're having here so far. Thank you very much for being part of this. Thank you very much for being part of this. And of course, again, thank you very much to all of the new members here of the channel, as well as Guanar Ball joining in as a rookie. South Sudan. It is party time in Paris. I'm watching the screens right now. A lot of South Sudan flags out there, singing, dancing. But then for Puerto Rican fans, not allowing themselves to be beaten with the noise. Tremont Waters missed the pull-ups, 3 straight off the timeout. But my, oh my, you talked about runs. Here's the run that they needed. Offensive rebound coming from Nuni Omot after the mislay, and then Bulkwall with another 3-pointer. 9-0 run here coming for South Sudan. Actually make that 11-0. An 11-0 start for South Sudan in quarter number 3. They started 8-0 in quarter number 2. Quarter number 3, 11-0. Wow, what a performance here coming from South Sudan. Puerto Rico just need to score. And they're gonna do it by going to the line. Tremont Waters draws a foul and will try to stop the bleeding there. Yeah, they need the points. They definitely need the points. Tremont Waters, chance here to finally get that to go. But my goodness, the amount of people just on their feet in Paris right now, following that incredible 11-0 run here coming from South Sudan. I'm sure a lot of pride here for this young nation. But then Puerto Rico, defiant, gets the first of 2 free throws off of Waters, gets both to go. 3-point lead still, just a 3-point, just a 1-possession lead here for South Sudan after the free throws made by Tremont Waters. Let's see. Well, South Sudan really strong on the 3-point line. It didn't look like that in the first half. Not gonna lie, it didn't look like that. Richo Kiddo said, we were coming for Puerto Rico. Wow, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Over 1,000 people watching. Thank you very much. Again, go and share this. Let everyone know. Join in on the party. Make some noise in the chat. And right now, we had around 2,000 voters in our poll on our chat. It said there a while ago that South Sudan was going to win 68% 32. Still the same numbers almost. But then right now, we have around 1,000 more voters. Thank you very much, by the way, for being such great being such a great crowd. And Bull Cool, oh my god, South Sudan are on fire from beyond the arc. It's another 3-pointer. How many threes is that in this quarter? 1 from Shayok, 1 from Omot, 1 from Kuol, 2 from Kuol, and 4 3-pointers here to start out the quarter for South Sudan. And it is an amazing rally. 14-2 start for South Sudan in quarter number 3, and we're almost at the halfway point. Not a single field goal yet for Puerto Rico, and it doesn't matter if Alvarado's ready to play. He's just in the corner. He's not even moving around with the ball. And right now, Puerto Rico just looking for a way back into this one. Leon misses the 3-pointer, mercifully for Puerto Rico. I'd say mercifully because they needed a bit of a break. And they finally got it there. Wow. According to Marco Zambelli, he says in the first quarter, South Sudan were nervous. That's why they didn't shoot so much. Well, you know, if that's the explanation, yeah, things have changed. Boy, oh boy, things have changed. Jose Alvarado misses a 3-pointer. Bull Kuol comes away with a defensive rebound. Let's take a look at the scorers here for South Sudan here so far. Nuni Omot now a double-digit scoring with 12. Peter Jock still with 8. Wolkwall now with 10 as well. 3-point shooting has gone up to 36% after only shooting 25% at the end of the first half. 8 of 22 is now the count from beyond the arc here for the South Sudan side. So Alvarado mercifully makes a 3-pointer here for Puerto Rico to end the drought here from field goals for Puerto Rico, but that was 5 minutes without a field goal for Puerto Rico. Mariel Shayok answers back with a lay-in. Jose Alvarado gets another lay-in to go. Just a 3-point lead here though. Okay, it was such an incredible run there for South Sudan, but then Puerto Rico refusing to go away. 16-7 quarter scoring in favor of South Sudan, but it is still just a 5-point lead as Shayok gets another lay-in to go. The game starting to speed up here a bit. 66-61. In favor of South Sudan. This has been South Sudan's quarter. just incredible quarter here from South Sudan. Yeah, so for those wondering, Alvarado is back in the game. In fact, he has scored the first field goals here for Puerto Rico in quarter number 3. 5 points from Jose Alvarado here in this quarter. Tremont Waters with 2 points from the free throw line just a while ago. But it has been a team effort for South Sudan, not just one guy. A lot of people finding ways to score here for South Sudan. Wow, what a performance here so far. Mario Shayo gets a steal. Dalvin Reed with a turnover, a bad pass from him. And South Sudan, that whatever was said in the halftime break, I hope someone has it on camera, because this team is coming out different. They are coming out different. So we'll see. And right now, it's a party in the chat right now. There are a lot of people. I have a feeling, because there are a lot of South Sudan fans on the chat. They were quiet when Puerto Rico was leading, but now that South Sudan is leading, they are all over the chat. Hey guys, nice to see you. Of course, the Puerto Rican fans out there, they are still holding on to hope. They are still holding on to hope. I can see it as well. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Foul here from Jose Alvarado. And I don't know if they're going to rule that as a take foul, actually. Mario Shayo getting hit there in transition. So let's see what they can do here. So they're going to replay this. They're trying to look at whether or not that is a unsportsmanlike foul on Jose Alvarado, whether or not it's a play on the ball on Mario Shayo. But you know what? I know that this is going to take they can take a few minutes to actually set up, or at least get the decision right. But then if I am Puerto Rico, I'm going to try and breathe at this moment, try and slow things down, because this has been an incredible third quarter performance here coming from South Sudan. South Sudan 18-7 here so far. They have their biggest lead, talking about South Sudan, was at 6. Right now it's at 5. Let's take a look at the box score again. Rather game stats here. What has changed here? Points of turnover still 14 in favor of Puerto Rico, but then fast break point 16 here now for South Sudan. Second chance points up to 17. So they've been rebounding really well. Talking about South Sudan, 15 offensive rebounds, and they have 20 second chance points as a result of it. And right now, oh boy, biggest lead of the game here so far for South Sudan, as Peter Jock gets a 3-pointer to go after Majok then gets an offensive rebound. And yeah, it's just an incredible performance here. The effort on the offensive boards has been so impressive here for South Sudan, because what has been happening is that South Sudan have had a difficult time, or rather Puerto Rico are having a difficult time ending possessions of South Sudan. They allowed South Sudan to have 15 offensive rebounds, and right now 20 second chance points. And it's worse because Puerto Rico literally has 0 second chance points to go with their 6 offensive rebounds. And this has just been momentum. The runs that South Sudan have been going on are so impressive here. This third quarter, one for the books for sure. Puerto Rico not out of this yet, but then they can't let Puerto Rico get away even further. Peter Jock gets a defensive rebound after Clavel misses a turnaround J. And this is a completely different South Sudan team. And this is a complete Puerto Rican team, by the way. Maybe Alvarado is a bit injured, but it doesn't matter. At this point, South Sudan just doing everything right. JT Thor misses a 3-point jumper. But then, right now, Puerto Rico running the other way, 69-61. Just looking for the right answers here. Peter Jock fouls Gian Clavel. And we're going to Puerto Rico looking for answers here. If you're a Puerto Rican fan, what do you guys need? What do you guys need to stop South Sudan from running the way they're doing and shooting the way that they're doing? Because they're shooting has it's like night and day. I don't know. Again, I want to know what was said during the halftime break because definitely this the fire has been lit under these guys. They look completely different. Such an impressive performance here in quarter number 3. Take a look at the quarter scoring 21-7. Maybe the biggest change might have been defensively because Puerto Rico could not get anything going. Of course, as I say that, Puerto Rico get a score here courtesy of George Condit the fourth, a dunk here, a much needed one here. Hopefully, energy here for Puerto Rico. And Carlick Jones, so answering back with 2 of his own. 71-63 is the count. Defensively, I think that's what's been most impressive about South Sudan here in quarter number 3. They have been shooting the ball well, yes. They are already at 23 points with around a minute 46 left. But then they've only limited Puerto Rico to only 11 points in this one. That is a big margin considering that Puerto Rico averaged around 27 points in the first half, 28 in the first quarter, 26 in the second. So to be limited to only 11 points in quarter number 3, boy, South Sudan have put on a clinic defensively. It's not just their shooting. They're letting their defense fuel their offense, and they're getting everything that they wanted. But 4-0 run here coming from Puerto Rico. George Condit the fourth and Jose Alvarado getting 4 points straight here for Puerto Rico to make 71-67. That could be a big swing there. Just a 4-point lead here. Puerto Rico definitely not out. Definitely not out of this one. Someone here is wondering, why did Puerto Rico stop at 61? Well, that's because they weren't scoring. That's why the points don't go up. So let's see what happens here. Some people are wondering whether or not we're in the brink of history. Can South Sudan take the victory over Puerto Rico, or can Puerto Rico turn things around? Because George Condit the fourth has just made it a 2-point game, 71-69. Puerto Rico back in this for sure. The biggest lead for South Sudan was at 8, and all of a sudden it's just a 2-point ball game here with less than a minute left to play here in quarter number 3. Don't look now because South Sudan called for a timeout. They know that Puerto Rico have a bit of a rhythm themselves here. 71-69. Jose Alvarado, George Condit coming back to life here for Puerto Rico. And maybe Alvarado just needed a bit of time to restart here. He already has 26 points in this game to go with 3 assists. 9 of 13 from the field. Talking about Jose Alvarado to lead all scorers. Tremont Waters has 14 for Puerto Rico, as well as 11 from Jane Clavel. Taking a look at what South Sudan has done. They have 4 players, make that 5 players shooting in double digits. Carlick Jones with 14, Nuni Omot with 12, Bull Kuol with 10, Mariel Shayok with 11, and Peter Jock with 11. Definite team effort here for South Sudan. Puerto Rico only have 3 double-digit scorers, and as Gian Clavel and Tremont Waters go with Jose Alvarado. Will that be the difference? The amount of people coming in here? And I'm just looking, by the way, I just got a chance to see that dunk from George Condit again. George Condit the fourth. That guy just posterized South Sudan. Now, of course, I don't think he'd want the poster of a game that they'd lost. So, yeah, they still need to get some work done here. South Sudan called for the timeout and trying to make sure that they see out this third quarter, still in the lead. Remember, this Puerto Rican team, so close, so close. Just a 2-point lead here, 71-69. Nuni Omot checks back in again. Great game for Nuni Omot here. JT Thor defensive rebound after a missed free throw from George Condit the fourth. He had the bonus that did not work out for him. And they go the other way. Good timeout, by the way. And of course, at this moment, while I think I have a bit of an opportunity, hello to Arian Kayanan, who has joined in as a rookie here on the FIBA Basketball channel. And guys, thank you so much for everyone tuning in here in the chat. A while ago we were around 800, 900, but now the game is getting more exciting. We're now up to 1,300 here watching now on this live stream. Guys, do go out, share it. Let's make this fourth quarter a party. I want to have a hard time reading the chat here on the side. That side. I think it's on that side. Yeah. I want to have a hard time reading the chat on the side because of the text will be flying. So come on in, invite your friends. Let's have a little party here and try and talk a bit about this game because this is an exciting one here. End of the third quarter after the 3-point miss here come from Jose Alvarado. 71-69 the count, and boy oh boy, what a game we have in our hands. What a game we have on our hands. Puerto Rican fans, make some noise. South Sudan fans, make some noise. Who do you got? We had the poll up there, almost at 4,000 people voting. We had this up around 51 minutes ago, and it has a lot of people still saying South Sudan, but Puerto Rico are coming back into this one as well. How good were South Sudan in quarter number 3? +8 advantage, 23-15 in favor of the African nation. The youngest nation here in the Olympics, 13 years young, and 23-15. What a debut they're having here in the Olympics. And they have a chance here to steal a win against Puerto Rico. Again, I honestly don't know which team is the underdog here. People would say, oh, it's South Sudan. They're younger. They're less experienced. Puerto Rico would say, oh, did you see what they did against Team USA? Everyone wants to be the underdog because they get more fans. But at the moment, Puerto Rico doing what they needed to actually. They took a big punch from South Sudan in quarter number 3, and they found a way to make it a one-possession ball game going into the fourth quarter. South Sudan, though, what an effort to take the lead. It was such an impressive start here in quarter number 3 for South Sudan. 11-0 run, I believe, to start out in quarter number 3 here for South Sudan, courtesy of the hot shooting from beyond the arc. Let's take a look at the shooting numbers here for South Sudan now that things have improved for them. Remember, they started out the game in the first quarter shooting 0 of 3. That is terrible. That is terrible, flat out terrible. But now they're shooting at 35% in this game. And that 35% is good for 9 of 26. They have jacked up the threes since that poor first quarter. Now, let's go look at Puerto Rico. They are shooting at 55% here from beyond the arc. They were shooting the ball a lot in that first half, but then it has slowed down just a bit. South Sudan have now shot more three-pointers than Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico have only shot 20 attempts from beyond the arc. They have made 11 of them. But then in terms of the volume, South Sudan definitely shooting it a lot more. 9 three-pointers made. Let's see if they can still turn things around here. Talking about South Sudan. It's important not to fall in love with the three-point shot, especially if it's not falling. But Cardick Jones getting South Sudan off to a good start here in quarter number 4. Getting a pull-up jumper to go to make it 73-69 in favor of South Sudan, making it a 2-possession ball game. What a game we're having. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on this second screen experience here in the FIBA, the basketball channel YouTube page. Numbers are still very good here, above 1,000 here on this FIBA chat party. Please go invite more of us, invite more people here, and let's all have a good chat. So for those wondering how much time we have left, 9:15 is left here, and there is a bit of there's a turnover here come from Wenyan Gabriel. Offensive foul, Davin Reed getting the foul there. For those wondering, you can check out the official website for live box scores, live stats, and player profiles, and more. We've just posted the link on the chat here, courtesy of the FIBA basketball channel admin. And yeah, go check that out. That's actually what I'm using as well right now for the stats, and that's really important. You can also do it on FIBA.basketball and check out the Men's Olympic Basketball page, and then you can get all of the results there as well. I am having a lot of fun, guys. I hope you guys are too. 9:15 left here in quarter number 4, as rather 8:58 left, and Alvarado missing on a lay-in. We could be up for a grandstand finish here. A very good grandstand finish with South Sudan in the lead here, 73-69, 2-possession ball game, 4-point lead. Puerto Rico still have yet to score here in quarter number 4. It's been 1:30 already. Now remember, it took them 5 minutes to find their first field goal in the third quarter about Puerto Rico. They cannot afford to go that long without a field goal again. They definitely can't do that. Taking a look at the scorers here. Most likely going to go to Jose Alvarado, right, with 26 points. Tremont Waters also has 14. But has been a bit quiet here. So it's George Condit. George Condit, though, with big points, by the way. Perfect from the field because all of them have been from close range. And still no field goals yet. No points yet here for Puerto Rico in what has been a very slow fourth quarter, by the way, is only 2-0 in favor of South Sudan here in quarter number 4. Tremont Waters comes in for Jose Alvarado. Alvarado gets a bit of rest here, much needed, it looks like. And right now, I am loving all of the flags here. I'm loving all of the flags here coming on the chat. But let's see if... let's know what you guys think, though. If you're South Sudan, how do you close this one out? How do you close this one out if you're South Sudan, considering the fact that this... the scoring is really slow. It's really slow. Just 2-0 quarter here with around 2 minutes played. Tremont Waters and Volkwall exchange baskets here, so make that 4-2. 75-71, still 4-point leader for South Sudan. 7:37 left here remaining in the quarter. How do you slow down Puerto Rico to the point that they are not able to catch up? How do you do that if you're South Sudan? If you are Puerto Rico, how do you come back into this one? Yeah, someone's asking me right now who's my favorite player. Jens Lindmark asked me who's my favorite player for South Sudan. And to be honest, I'm having a hard time picking. A lot of them are fun. A lot of them are fun. I mean, like, Carlick Jones, obviously, is a bucket. And has been very important here. But then what about the three-point shooting here? Coming from Peter Jock, perfect from beyond the arc. And Volkwall, 2 of 3. And Nuni Omo, shooter's mentality, he's 2 of 7. But then such an important player here for South Sudan. +5 and +- And when Gabriel, he hasn't been scoring, but he's +10. +10 and +- 7 rebounds already. So he has a lot of turnovers. That has to be addressed for sure. So how about you guys? Who's your favorite South Sudan player? Who's your favorite Puerto Rico player? Let us know. As Christopher Ortiz misses 2 free throws. Oh, that is important. Offensive rebound, though, coming for Puerto Rico here. Yeah, slow scoring means good defense, according to Madu Chol. I'd also say, hey, could be bad offense, too. But at the moment, Tremont Waters comes in, gets a driving lane to make it a 2-point game. 2-point game, 7:19 left here. 7:19 left here. Davon Reed makes the assist. Tremont Waters with the driving lane a while ago. Offensive rebound again for Shayok. And Shayok gets a 2-pointer. Shayok has been a monster for South Sudan, by the way. Yeah, you know what? He might be one of the guys that I am really enjoying watching. One of my favorite players here. As Shayok has been putting in the work here quietly. 13 points already in this one. 5 of 10. Feels like he's in the right place at the right time. So the score here so far, after that a bucket from Shayok, 77-73. Another offensive rebound here comes from Shayok. He's keeping this one alive. So, right now, if I'm gonna look into the future, and if I'm Puerto Rico and I'm looking at this game, I'm wondering, why can't I get defensive rebounds? The offensive rebound numbers of South Sudan are ridiculous. 16 offensive rebounds, 22 second chance points here for South Sudan. That is easily one of the reasons why they're winning. Jose Alvarado comes back in for Gian Clavel. You know what? There's someone who joined here as a rookie. I don't think I can pronounce your name, but thank you very much for joining us. My colleagues from FIBA kindly helping out with the pronunciation of the person who just joined as a rookie here. That would be really great. Viviana Shandy says, Cardiff Jones is my favorite player. I wouldn't be surprised. Samuel Awiye says, Shayok the King. Les Consabor saying, keep on going, vamos PR. D. Kenzie saying, Nuni Omo to the world. Alright, Maria Shayok gets the 2 free throws to go. 5-point lead. Make that 6-point lead here for South Sudan. Trevor Waters draws a foul. Still a long time to go though. Just a 2-possession ball game. 6 minutes left to play. Guys, watch out. Watch out here. So right now, the scoring has quickened a bit. Fantastic second half here for South Sudan, by the way. In this quarter, 8 of 4 scoring in favor of South Sudan. And my goodness, the defense that they have put on Puerto Rico, different level. The defense is honestly one of the reasons why. Defense, offensive rebounding. Wenyan with too many turnovers, I'd agree with that from Crip God FF. Again, for those who are wondering what you can get from membership, join our membership for exclusive perks. Get a shout out from me during the stream. Join now. There's a link right there. And of course, other goodies, I'm sure. Take a look at the box score, the play-by-play again here. As the scoring, all of a sudden, Puerto Rico struggling for points, bleeding for points. It feels like they're putting on so much effort just to get a single point. And right now, JT Thor comes back in. Jin Clavel also comes back in here for Puerto Rico. JT Thor for South Sudan. Oh boy, Von saying, do you think Shayok should be signed in the Lakers? I don't know. I've learned never to give an opinion on the Lakers. Because fans of the Lakers have a lot of opinions. And I don't think you can please anyone with any opinion, especially if you're a Laker fan. You're a Laker fan. So Puerto Rico, let's take a look at the foul count here. Someone mentioned the foul counts here. Is there anyone at risk? From Puerto Rico, no one really. 3 fouls from George Conditt, the 4th. But then here for South Sudan, 4 fouls for Bull Kuol, already at 12 points. That's something to watch out for. As well as Mariel Shayok. The one who says Shayok the King. Watch out for that. Still 71, 79, 73. Alvarado comes away with a steal on Wenyan Gabriel. George Conditt with the block there. Good defensive rebound coming from Puerto Rico. Coming too few and far in between. That's a problem. That's a problem there. Personal foul there from Wenyan Gabriel. And another foul. Ooh. Another foul from Gabriel. How many fouls does he have already? Foul number 4 on him. So they have 3 players with 4 fouls. Bull Kuol with 12 points. Wenyan Gabriel, who is plus 12, by the way, on the raw plus minus. And Mariel Shayok. All of them with 4 fouls here for South Sudan. Puerto Rico, if they just could force more fouls. When Gabriel checks out, by the way, Magic 10 comes back in. If Puerto Rico forces more fouls and forces Puerto Rico to, in more, I guess, awkward circumstances defensively, you never know. Yeah, we never know. This could turn into a free throw shooting contest soon. Especially if Puerto Rico keep on finding ways to force South Sudan to foul. George Conditt, the 4th, missed the first of 2 free throws. Free throws could be a big factor here because Puerto Rico are shooting very poorly from the free throw line, 55%. So let's take a look at what those numbers are. Actually, 55% from the free throw line. They are 12 of 22. They've missed 10 free throw attempts. And JT Thor scores off that last possession with George Conditt missing the 2 free throws, makes a lay-in, 81-73. And Puerto Rico are not doing themselves any favors here. Not at all. Their free throw shooting numbers just not working. Wow. I want to win an official game ball? Send a $2 super chat to enter our giveaway. Good luck. Let's see who comes home with the ball here. 81-73 the count, and man, Puerto Rico, their free throw shooting numbers not helping them at all. My goodness. Let's see if anything changes. They've missed 10 free throws, I believe, already. Gian Clavel misses from beyond the arc. Yeah, 10 missed free throws here for Puerto Rico. You know, you hit those 10 free throws, you're in the lead. Wow. What a performance here for South Sudan, though. Let's all pay tribute to the defense South Sudan has been playing because, yeah, so much they're scoring a lot better here in the second half. Their highest scoring quarter was actually the second quarter. Talking about South Sudan, they went on an 8-0 rally, or 11-0 start rather, in quarter number 2, or is that quarter number 3? But they went on a good start. And so far, they've limited Puerto Rico to only 19 points this entire second half. And we are around, what, 4 minutes left in this game? That's incredible. Incredible defense coming from South Sudan. The adage goes, defense wins championships. And right now, the defense that they're playing on Puerto Rico has been so disruptive. What a performance. Valts Vikups on our chat says, greetings from Latvia. Still a bit sad for not getting to the Olympics, but enjoy the great basketball nevertheless. Valts, as a Filipino, as our team played in Latvia, I feel you. We're both not there, but we're all happy everyone's enjoying basketball. What a game here so far. 10-point lead now. 10-point lead for South Sudan. JT Thor making free throws. Free throws are important, friends. South Sudan, free throw numbers in comparison, 12 of 13. 92% from the free throw line. Make your free throws. Yeah, you gotta make your free throws. Pinheiro misses the tip in. Miss play in here coming from. Miss fadeaway rather from JT Thor, and Condit a chance to make a three-pointer. Misses. Cremon Waters rather with a miss. Defensive rebound from South Sudan. And ladies and gentlemen, we may be on the way to the first ever win of South Sudan in the Olympic Games. A nation 13 years young officially as Carlick Jones hits a three-pointer to make it a 13-point lead. 13-point lead. Cue the timeout for Puerto Rico. 3:03 left here in the fourth quarter. Puerto Rico need a minor miracle right now because South Sudan are a completely different team from what we saw in quarters number 1 and 2. They came out of the locker room completely different. Shooting the ball well, defending so well. You just have to give credit to the coaching staff there for pulling the right strings, doing the right things, the players answering as well. Take a look at the numbers here for South Sudan. Offensive rebounding, probably the biggest stat here in second chance points. 24 second chance points, 18 offensive rebounds. What a performance here from South Sudan. What a performance from South Sudan. Oh, wow. Incredible. Carlick Jones, 19 points. Mariel Shayok with 15. Nuni Omot with 12. Bulkwal with 12. Peter Chok with 11. It's not just one guy for them. Carlick Jones obviously leading the pack with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. But how good must that feel if you're South Sudan? You barely had basketball in your culture or the right facilities. Such a young nation. You go to the World Cup last year, finished 17th out of the 32 teams, top nation in Africa, and now you're here in Paris, able to get a win over a team like Puerto Rico who has so much history. 13 points, 3 minutes left. Again, Puerto Rico need a minor miracle. I know I'm saying a lot here about South Sudan, and it's up to Puerto Rico right now to prove us all wrong, prove me wrong in particular. And of course, if that happens, what entertainment would that be? My goodness. Let's see what Puerto Rico have up their sleeves here. Off the timeout though, a turnover here for Condit after a missed 3-point opportunity here from Tremont Waters. Wow. What a performance here. Second half. That second half. This second half has been incredible. And also, you guys have been incredible also. 1,600 now watching us here on the FIBA basketball channel chat party. Guys, we're going to have more of this, by the way, throughout the Olympics. Make sure you catch on and join us as Carlick Jones hits a... Oh, no, sorry. No, he didn't hit it. pull up a jumper miss rather by Carlick Jones. And yeah, we're gonna have this chat party for the different games as well throughout the Olympics. So guys, make sure you come and join us. I won't be the only host throughout this entire Olympics. Of course, other great hosts are here as well. We really appreciate you joining us here on the chat party and really just spreading the love of hoop. And of course, right now people are saying like, "I told you so! I told you so!" Bulu saying, "I said in my comment a few minutes ago that South Sudan will win over Puerto Rico at the end of the game. Big up for South Sudan." Only me saying this is breathtaking. And then yeah, they call these guys the bright stars. The bright stars. And yeah, they've been shining brightly in Paris. George Conde got a 2-pointer, by the way, to make an 11-point lead. But then when less than 2 minutes to play, this looks like a wrap here for South Sudan. Guys, for South Sudan, how excited are you for this group? How excited are you for this group? How do you think you'll fare against your group mates here in the Olympics? Let's take a look at the table here for Group C. So actually, the funny thing is, South Sudan, by virtue of playing first, will now lead Serbia and the USA in the Group C table, just by virtue of being the team to win first. So someone screenshot that already, that you're in the lead. Number 1 in Group C, in a group with United States and Serbia. But yeah, how do you guys feel for the South Sudan fans out there? How do you guys feel you'll do against Serbia and United States? And if for the Puerto Rican fans out there, what do you guys think you need to do to adjust to upset Serbia and the United States? Because no matter what, Puerto Rico is going into the next game as a underdog in that particular turn in the particular game. So South Sudan as well. South Sudan are underdogs wherever they go here. But then Puerto Rico, what do you need to do to steal a result against Serbia and the United States? South Sudan, what do you guys need to do as well to steal a result against the United States and Serbia? South Sudan will be like, "Oh, we almost beat the USA already." Then tune-up game, guys. That was a tune-up game. I need to see what they can do in a competitive environment against the United States. If they can steal a win there, I'll be really excited for that. Let's see. All right, so let's go for the chat here. Yeah, so Valso Vikops from Latvia says, "Thanks for the reply. See you in World Cup 2027 or Olympics 2028. Latvians have a score to settle." Yeah, we'd love to play you again. The Philippines would love to play you again. South Sudan, you know what? I think if there's a thing that South Sudan needs to, they need to start better. They need to start the game better. They started out the first quarter really, really tight, and that was a big problem in the start of the game for South Sudan. They only shot 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. They weren't playing the game. I think they gotta stick to their identity earlier. Talking about South Sudan. And you never know. So 1:22 left here in the game. 9-point lead here for South Sudan, unless Puerto Rico managed three pointers in the span of 1 minute. This looks like a wrap. Oliver Langrio says, "Shout out from Bacolod City." So hello to Oliver Langrio. And of course, Santo Faber saying, "You feel good, so amazing being the youngest nation and looking like the strongest at the moment. Why not? Wow, what a game!" And do it again 22 said, "Just imagine Ton Makur and Bol. If they were playing right now, that could be different." You know what? This is such a good advert here for South Sudan basketball. You can make a difference if you play there. So for those with the heritage, again, a very young nation, I'm sure it could help. This could actually be a big part of nation building. Talking about South Sudan, the power of sports incredible. The power of sports incredible. I'm sure they can help build the national identity of South Sudan. Again, a very young country, 13 years young, and are just happy for them for this particular victory. And of course, right now, Yeah, Saliu Toure. It says, I am Wolo from Senegal. I support my South Sudan brothers because they are my brothers. I support South Sudan rather because they are my brothers. Yeah, for sure. Wenyan Gabriel gets a dunk here to up the lead to 11 again. Less than a minute left to play. And wow, my goodness, guys. My goodness, what a game we are seeing here. 88-77 it's the count. What a game here from South Sudan. I'm just so impressed. So impressed here with South Sudan because I really felt that Puerto Rico in that first half really had their number, doing everything right. And I was worried for Puerto Rico because Jose Alvarado, I didn't know if he was going to come back in the third quarter. He did, but to be honest, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because South Sudan turned it up defensively. Their defense, incredible defense coming from South Sudan. Incredible effort from this young African nation, and Puerto Rico now have to go back to the drawing board here because they are going to have to figure a lot of things out if they want to get one over Serbia or United States. They also need to try and reduce this deficit because point difference will matter as well. Yeah, and people are excited for the highlights. I'm not surprised. I will not be surprised if this will be the hottest highlight video from Africa. Yeah. Oh my goodness, what an achievement! What an achievement here so far for South Sudan. As of course we are just letting the play go on here. Timeout, by the way, from Puerto Rico. Because again, the amount of the point difference matters here, especially in this men's basketball tournament. Again, thank you very much for joining us here. It is going to be super interesting. Super interesting to see how far South Sudan can go. Can they upset Serbia? Can Puerto Rico upset Serbia? What do you guys think? Let me know as we start to wrap this up soon, as they're wrapping up this game soon too. Can they upset Serbia? Can they upset United? Can anyone upset the United States in this group? That's actually a question I want to answer now. Can anyone upset the United States in this group of being Serbia, Puerto Rico, and South Sudan? And I'm sure all the South Sudan fans out there will be saying, yes, we can. We can upset the USA. Let us know. Also, the FIBA Discord server is now live. For those who want to check in and join the community, we posted a link there. As I say, Pinheiro makes the 2 free throws there for Puerto Rico. A little too late, guys. Free throws. Puerto Rico need to address their free throw problems. That could have been such a big difference maker in this game. Free throws. Not quite there. So let's take a look. And guys, I really appreciate you for those saying thank you for the coverage again. Just really happy that we could give you this alternate stream here for you. I know we're not showing the game here, but we hope that you really enjoyed this second screen, and you can support us for the rest of the second screens happening throughout the Olympic Games. Other really great hosts coming in as well from all over the world. I think I'm the representative from Asia, yeah, from the Philippines. And shout out to the Latvian viewer there a while ago for a little banter there after our two teams played in the same tournament, in the Olympic qualifying tournament, and neither of us made it to the Olympics. And South Sudan also beat the Philippines in the Philippines. So yeah, we know about you guys. And yeah, just really happy for South Sudan. Really happy. And of course, for Puerto Rico, I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to see just what how they'll bounce back, because we know that they have the ability. They have the experience to do it. They're gonna have to tighten up a lot of things going into that game against Serbia, in particular. Right now, just take a look at the schedule here for Puerto Rico. As I try to whip that out here for everyone. Next game for Puerto Rico in Group C will be against Serbia. And August 1, well, at least Philippine time. United States against Sudan, South Sudan. That's gonna be fun. 32 seconds left here. 2 free throws awarded for Majok Deng. Yeah, they're gonna need to get their point total up. If you're South Sudan, there's a chance that there might be a blowout in the cards against. Let's be fair, might be a blowout against the United States or maybe Serbia. Maybe you need to get as much points as possible against Puerto Rico, because again, the 2 best third place teams can still advance to the next round. So the point difference will be important in this one. Right now, third place team rankings. Or the third place team rankings right now, Greece and Brazil. Greece has the negative 7 point difference. Brazil has a negative 12 point difference. So at the moment, Puerto Rico will be second place in the third place team rankings if it ends this way, with an 11 point lead for South Sudan. But then, of course, South Sudan just need to just pad the scoring. But Puerto Rico need to keep it closer. They need to keep it closer, because there's still an opportunity for them. It's not how you start the tournament, sometimes it's how you end it. That's what they say in any setting. But then, yeah, we'll see how it all works out here. But then we are close to the end, and that'll do it. That will do it, ladies and gentlemen. South Sudan, the winners, 90-79 against Puerto Rico. Congratulations to South Sudan. First win in the Olympic Games in your first attempt, your first crack at winning a game. You got it. Congratulations. History for this young nation, 13 years young. Great stories all around once you research on all the teams. It has been a privilege to be able to call this game via the chat party for all of you. For Puerto Rico, we cannot wait to see how you guys will bounce back against Serbia, against the United States. We all know you have history with the United States, in particular in the Olympics in the past. Let's see whether or not you could cause a shock again of epic proportions. But then, what a gameplay by these 2 squads. The second half from South Sudan, incredible numbers. In terms of their defense, just holding Puerto Rico down. Puerto Rico really not doing the job from a free throw shooting perspective. Not enough help for Grand Theft Alvarado. And South Sudan getting a famous 90-79 win at the end of their first matchup here in the Paris Olympics men's basketball tournament. Thank you very much for joining us here in this FIBA chat party. We can't wait to see you in the next game. So make sure you always check out the FIBA basketball channel page. Do join, do subscribe, and we cannot wait to hear from you guys again soon. Once again, my name is Paulo Del Rosario. I'm from the Philippines. Really a pleasure and privilege to be here for you guys. You can follow me on X at Paulo Del Rosario. The name was flashed down the screen just a while ago. And on Instagram at Paulo Del Rosario. Once again, this was the FIBA live chat party. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you again for the next ones. Have a great day.